Welcome to the Nehemiah Builds overview. And everybody's very first question is always, who are we? We are a nonprofit that works in Arlington to service children who come from fatherless homes or who are in what they would call low socioeconomic status. The way we identify them is we use the school system because we pull from the elementaries all the way up to the high schools. And we look for children that are identified as Title I, meaning they receive free and reduced lunch. My name is Isaac Washington. I'm the director of the after school ministry. And we have another director named Dontre Collins who works with me over the wrestling ministry. We are partners in this work. And this is my assistant, Mr. William Branner, and he is phenomenal. And hopefully you will meet him someday. So why do we exist, which is the far deeper thing? We exist because of poverty and because of fatherlessness. So in Arlington, 11.7% of the populace fall below the poverty line, 15.7% when you're talking about children under 18 of the 358,000. Now, this is interesting because we know that poverty produces certain things in education, and education has certain things that it produces in the end outcome of a child's life. So a student who is not reading at his or her grade level by the end of the third grade is 4 times less likely to graduate high school on time, 6 times less likely for students from low-income families, and 63 times more likely to drop out of high school, and they're more likely to be incarcerated than they are to go to college. I know those are crazy statistics, but they are true, and they are directly correlated to poverty and fatherlessness. And so the way that we see these things is you have to look at all of the statistics. So they'll have statistic data on poverty and the things that poverty produces. And then there's statistic data on fatherlessness and the things that fatherlessness produces. And so we know that children without present fathers, that they are 24% more likely to repeat a grade. Their grades were not as good as other children who had fathers, and that their grades were worse than students with the absent fathers. So basically what you see is students with absent fathers have far less performance academically. And these numbers are much, much higher in African-American males. Fatherlessness, they have a 63% youth suicide income. So basically youth suicide outcomes. So basically students who come from fatherless homes have a 63% more likelihood of committing suicide. 70% of all teen pregnancies happen outside of fatherlessness homes. Now, the reality is we all know what the problems are. We know that poverty has dramatic effects on educational outcomes. We know that fatherlessness has dramatic effects on educational outcomes, and everybody in the world wants to help. But the problem is that for many of us, we don't know how to turn that compassion that we have into actionable action. And that's what Nehemiah Builds was set up to do, was to become the father for these households that don't have fathers in the homes, and to help to reduce some of the outcomes of poverty by providing some of the things that impoverished households cannot have. And so basically we see education as a ministry. Matthew chapter 25, the Bible says that when Jesus was analyzing who was truly doing the work that they were supposed to do, it was the people who were meeting the needs of people who didn't have. When you were hungry, they gave them food. When they didn't have clothing, they gave them clothes. When they needed a place to stay, they gave them a place to stay. Well, we see education as the exact same thing. If we see that education is producing these negative outcomes in people's lives, and we can actually feel that need, we feel that that need needs to be filled. So when we see children that are going to prison because they're behind in learning, we provide them an avenue to learn so that they can become productive citizens and avoid that path to prison. And we do that in all of these different indices. So one of our indices that we do that with is an after-school ministry. So it's a partner ministry that literally tries to pull the children from these neighborhoods and from these homes and put them into all these different activities from the moment they get out of school till pretty much the time that it's close to them to go to bed. So we pick the children up from the schools from Pope Elementary Schools, school partnering with in Arlington ISD right now at 3:30. Immediately, we get the children moving and active. We align with the AISD calendar. What we do is we provide weekly tutoring. This is in-school tutoring and after-school tutoring. These children are already behind, so there's got to be a lot of push-in support to the campus. So we don't only tutor our children, we tutor We get with the teachers and we see who has the highest priority, and we're literally supporting the campus. And so we're also supporting the teachers at every level. We have weekly in-school mentoring. So we're in the schools, we're checking behavior reports. We are getting text messages and phone calls whenever children need to be redirected, and all the things that a father would do. The program is functioning to do those things. We provide daily transportation from school, daily transportation to wrestling, transportation to any kind of serving or field trip event, transportation during the summers. Like, we transport all the children to all the different places. We have a daily character lesson. We teach manners. We do all of these things that you would normally get underneath a family structure, that some of the parents need support in providing. Daily after-school tutoring in literacy and math. So we alternate days between literacy and math. We provide daily snacks and food, and male mentoring that can support the children in the fatherless homes, along with a whole wrestling ministry. And at our collegiate level, or at our high school level, our wrestling ministry has produced over $1 million in scholarships over the last 7 years. And so literally we grab them in the second grade, and our goal is to walk with the children all the way through, all the way to their high school. And the true goal is to get them some kind of academic scholarship so that they can break that gap and be able to make it to the collegiate levels and to be able to truly push their families forward. Now, what does this look like? This support looks like in all kinds of levels. We do backpacks, we do school supplies. We are at the graduations with the children, cheering them on. We walk them across the stage when necessary. When they win Student of the Week, we're there for that. We are at field day with the children because they want the parents to be there. So we are there for them. We partner with Mission Arlington. Miss Tilly is an amazing partner with us. We actually use the youth center at one of her churches. And at our youth center, we have an art station. We have a engineering station where the children are challenged to build things and construct things, to kind of take their mind and to teach them how to think abstractly and hone in on those skills. We have reading libraries, just all kinds of different things to challenge the children in all kinds of different ways. And then we have fun things as well. We have air hockey tables and pool tables and just things that children would love to do, because we want the place to be exciting. We want the place to be an inviting place. Our daily schedule looks something like this. We'll pick the school up between 3:30. Arlington ISD moved to 3:30. We'll have a discipleship Bible character lesson. We'll help them with homework. We'll have a teaching time with literacy or math, reading, free choice centers. That's going to be where they're coming in with the engineering and many of that kind of stuff. And then we'll feed the children snacks and food. Different restaurants sponsor us sometimes on different days so that we can get some food off in there. And then we clean up and we transition over to our wrestling ministry. And so we have an all-year support. These children are already behind, and this support, because we're phasing into the family, has to be literally all year long. We have parents that are calling us when they don't take out the trash. We have parents that are calling us whenever a child is talking disrespectfully, so that we can work on manners and what does it really mean to honor your father and your mother. We have summer camps that we do. We have summer adventures. So the goal is that we kind of bribe the children during the summer. They give us reading, they give us extra math, they give us those things to try to catch back up a little bit. And what we do is we take them on adventures. Instead of having them in front of a video game, playing things that are probably unhealthy for their brain, we take them to the zoo, we take them to the aquarium, we take them to the Perot Museum, just all of these different things. So we couple the fun with the summer learning so that we can provide all year support. That includes volunteering opportunities. We take them up to the mission. We also do this during the school year because we want the children to have a heart of service, and you have to cultivate that over time. And then we have quarterly restaurant outings so that we can teach the children etiquette. So the children are learning where the fork goes, where the spoon goes, just all of those kinds of things, keeping proper voice tones at restaurants. How do we interact at restaurants? And so we take them out twice a year to a restaurant, and we allow them to practice those things. Actually, we do that quarterly. We have an annual family birthday where we celebrate everybody's birthday. We call ourselves the family because we are building a family. And so at this annual birthday, we just do a blast, and we buy trinkets and toys, and we just celebrate the children and let them know that they are special and that they are loved, and that we appreciate all that they do. Every year, the children, through various partnerships, they get bikes. During the summer, we took them to a sailing camp, and our children learned how to sail boats, an experience that they will absolutely never forget. And so they were learning how to sail boats at sailing camp. We take them on field trips to all kind of different places. They went to go watch a Christian wrestling event, urban air, just all kinds of things. We want the children to be busy. We want them to be productive. We want them to have fun. We want them to want to come to the center, and for them to understand that we are wholly invested in what they do. We have a weekend food insecurity program where we give the children who are from who might not have the proper food at the house. We give them food on weekends during the months so that we can make sure that they're eating, and it's a healthy initiative. And I love these smiles. They just make me go. And then we have a mother's resource program where we support our mothers with financial education, more so just budgeting, and then parent education, because they're constantly asking us, well, how do we get our children to do this? What do we do if our child is doing this? And so we are constantly educating our parents. One of our parents actually graduated with a master's degree. And so we are so proud of her going back to school and getting that done. So how can you support? Well, one of the ways is volunteering. Volunteering is really just building relationships with these children. Some volunteers come once a week, some volunteers come once a month, but the reality is just any kind of consistency you can provide. And the only thing that you're going to be asked to do is just to love on children and build a relationship and show them that there are people out there that care about them and that are vested in their future. And then, of course, all of the things that we're doing for this children, having to jump off in here and basically become the other half to the family, that requires some financial support. And so where does your money go? It goes to all the things that we just mentioned: the in-school support and the tutoring, the after-school support and the tutoring, the transportation to all of the different places, the after-school laptops, the learning resources. These are all things that we have for the children: the daily food, fresh food, the weekend food program, all the wrestling expenses, equipment, tournaments, food, all of that, the summer program, including the field trips, learning resources, and then we have the staffing. So all of these things go to support the children for what we do at Nehemiah Builds. And I hope that something was said that will inspire you to want to partner with us. There are various ways that you can partner with us. We are asking for business partners with us. Normally we ask a business partner to join with us for $5,000 a year, or you can sponsor a child at $200 a month to take care of absolutely everything that the individual children will need. So thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate all that you do. And I hope that something was said that makes you want to partner with Nehemiah Builds in our attempt to become the other half of the family to support families. It takes a village. It truly takes a village. And we are trying to build in a programmatic fashion the other side of that village. Thank you.